just going over a tweet that had a little section that gave a perspective on a subject I had never really seen before. And so I took it and plugged it into ChatGPT. It's the other half of my thinking brain right now. And basically, with it, just sort of broke down questions I could ask myself to, not tailor to, but just sort of like help me achieve whatever I wanted to achieve through interpreting this tweet in a way that was more personal and subjective to me, which is what you have to do with most subjects. That whole, take what resonates and leave what doesn't thing. And so it was beautiful. I totally enjoyed how we broke down, and basically, just so it's not so vague, is basically how like your body and your brain and your nervous system work all together. And what caught my attention about it was a different way of looking at thoughts becoming things, or manifestation, or stuff, things like that. Because, and this is what I found out after breaking it down with ChatGPT, was like, it felt so familiar to me, because as an actress, one of my wonderful, wonderful coaches taught us to basically keep an emotional journal. And it really helped me, because now when I either do it when I'm going over a script, or I do it on my own, or sometimes I'll have an emotion that I realize I've never had, or I feel it somewhere, and I make a note of that, like where I felt it, how other words I can use to describe how I felt when it happened, and la la la. And of course, that makes it so that it's in your body, it lives in your body, because physicality is very, very important. So that any character that you play, maybe it can be an emotion that you've already drawn from before, and you already know where that lives in your body, and you already know whatever else you need to know in order to make that character become real through you for your audience. And that wasn't even like the epiphany, if you will, that made me start this voice note. That was what got me into my other thing, which is, hold on, let me see, because I'm forgetting what was said. Your body already speaks clearly. You're just learning its dialect instead of translating everything into the same word. You need to get calmer. You need to get more precise. I don't know. Oh, no, here it is. You're doing the rare work of refinement, not repair. That's why it feels subtle instead of dramatic, like tuning a string rather than replacing the instrument. And yeah, that's a lot of what I do when it comes to new knowledge, if you will. I just do it for the sake of learning it. It's fascinating. And like this Kaizen continuous improvement tattoo that I have on my wrist. Like I'm always about refinement, but I don't do it from a lens of not feeling good enough, or the reverse, which is actually the same. If you know it, if you know what I'm saying, is I always have to do more, have to do better. It's like two sides of the same coin. The way I stay away from that is by keeping in mind that I won't say chase, but I guess you could say chase. I chased refinement not because there will be an end at some point. No, I chase it simply because it makes me move. Like, having goals that I know will never have a certain end just moves my chess piece forward, I guess. And I think that's how I saved myself from perfectionism. Getting it just right, or holding off until just one more thing, and all of the things in between, the people pleasing that comes with it, all the things that plague perfectionists. Because they plagued me. Or even just the thought of being wrong about something, and not about yourself, your character. I meant about some work that you're doing, like whether you're doing it with your hands or your computer, like that, like turning something into maybe like a higher up and being wrong, and that just like devastating you. That might be something else. You know, to any clinical people that talk to people about what's in their minds. But for me, I tie that to my perfectionism, which has long been gone. Long been gone, thank goodness. But yeah, just like, yeah, I definitely don't continue to read articles and continue to read books and do because I'm looking for anything. I just know if it's a different perspective, I'll add it to the arsenal because I'm pretty sure it's cool. And move on to the next thing. And just keep on moving to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing until I'm gone.